Start by laying out all of your equipment at the site where you're going to set the trap. Unpack and unfold the fabric part of the trap, which is made from the white and black mesh, and identify which end of it is the longer end. This is going to be the front of the trap, and this is the part that will attach to the collecting head. You're going to attach the collecting head to the front end of the trap using the Jubilee clip. This is the silver metal ring. The easiest way to do this is to feed the ring over the top point of the trap, then put the fabric around the black part of the collecting head, and then slide the ring on top to hold it in place. Use a flat head screw to tighten the Jubilee clip until it's holding the fabric tightly in place around the entrance to the collecting head. The Jubilee clip should be tightened close to the end of the opening of the collecting head. Lay out the different poles. You should have 3 long ones, 2 medium ones, and 2 short ones with gold attachments. Take the short poles with the gold attachments and join them together by screwing them at the gold part. This should now be your longest pole. Take the longest pole and push it into the ground where you want the front of the trap to be. Use a mallet to push the pole into the ground if you need. In this video, I'm not going to push any of the poles into the ground, but we will hold them in place so you can see where they should be. You can then take the collecting head, which has the fabric part of the trap attached, and slide it onto the top of the pole you've just put into the ground. Hold the fabric part of the trap out to check that you've got enough space between where you've put the front of the trap and the boundary wall. In this case, we've actually put it a bit too close to the wall, so we're going to move it further out. When you're happy with the placement, you can then use the white ties to attach the fabric part of the trap to the pole. There should be 4 ties all the way down the front of the trap. Unravel and lay out the white guy lines. You should have 4 short ones, 1 long one, and 1 medium one. Take the longest guy line and tie it to the collecting head at the point where it sits on top of the longest pole. Then peg out the guy line using one of the red pegs. Taking the medium length guy line, attach this to the loop at the back end of the fabric trap and peg this out behind. Take the remaining 4 short guy lines, attach them to the 4 corners of the trap where the white mesh is, and peg those 4 corners out. You're then going to take the remaining poles and insert them into the trap. The 2 short poles go at the back 2 corners of the trap. Each pole needs to be inserted through the white loop where you have attached the guy line, and then through the black loop that's attached to the bottom of the trap in the corresponding corner. The 2 medium poles go at the front 2 corners. The 3rd medium pole goes in the centre back of the trap. Take the remaining red pegs and use them to peg out the black loops in each of the 4 corners of the trap. Using the small cable ties, you can firmly attach the loops to the poles so that they stay in place. If you don't have cable ties or you don't have enough, this can easily be done with duct tape. At this stage, you might want to adjust where you've put the guy ropes and the pegs to make sure that all corners of the trap are evenly pulled out. And there you have your constructed Malaise trap. Once you've constructed the trap, you'll need to rig it in order to start collecting insects. Take the 2-way attachment and make sure that the 2 seals are placed either side of it. Take one of your 300 ml collecting bottles. It should be filled with about 250 ml of preserving alcohol. Then attach that to the two-way attachment. You're then going to screw the whole thing onto the collecting head. At the end of each week, you're going to collect your sample from the Malaise trap. In order to do this, carefully unscrew the 300 ml collecting bottle from the collecting head. You're going to decant the contents of the collecting bottle into a spare bottle or a jam jar or some other container. Make sure that there's enough alcohol to cover all of the insect specimens, but any excess can be kept in the bottle to be reused. Top up the bottle with enough alcohol and then attach it to the collecting head to reset the trap.